Sit. It's the Road to Scratch podcast.
All right, we're back, literally back.
Yes.
Now you can see what's behind us at Swing 365 Colorado. It is the Road to Scratch podcast, episode 3.
Episode 3, hard to believe.
Look at that. We're at the end of March, and it feels like the middle of July right now. I don't know what the F is going on, but this is our sponsor, Swing 365 Colorado. Check him out, swing365colorado.com. He's got all kinds of memberships here. Family-owned business, local PGA professional. This facility is great. Matt and I had a few swings before we set up for the podcast. And, I mean, I'm working on my game here even when it is unusually warm outside in Colorado. This is a really cool facility. We're hitting some wedges into the target area. But you can work on all kinds of stuff. You can play full rounds of golf here. Lots of courses loaded up. So check them out. Hit code SCRATCH for 10% off any memberships. And we'll drop, that's all that information is going to be in the description below. And if you're listening on audio, it'll be in the show notes. Without further ado,
Yes.
Good evening, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I am tired today. I'm a little worn out. It was a little scramble to get over here, but we did it. And I'm, Keith, I'm eating some of your candy because I'm hungry. I didn't eat enough food today. So, but I'm happy to be here. Excited to have another podcast. This is the prequel to the Masters episode. And I guess technically our next episode is going to be just after the Masters. So are we 2 weeks away now? Is that right? 2 weeks. Yeah, I think because today's Thursday. So 2 weeks from today, the Masters starts.
Wow.
Is that correct? I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. I should know this before we sit on this podcast, but that's okay. I don't know if you saw, but I did see Tiger in the TGL. I know you watched the TGL finale, but Tiger was hitting shots. He was hitting all kinds of kind of cool shots.
Yes.
But he's
The whole event is like all kinds of weird shots you have to hit and stingers and
nope.
all sorts.
Yeah, he was in a lot of stingers and some crazy shots. Same technology as right here. I'm just saying. It's exactly the same thing as Foresight. But I did notice he was giving it a go with the driver. He was swinging pretty hard. So I think physically, as good as his body can be right now,
Yeah.
he's ready to go. Like you said before, though, the one thing I wonder about with him playing the Masters is walking 4 days, assuming he makes the cut, which he has not missed in I don't know how long.
I don't know. It's a tough course to walk. So
Yeah,
I don't know if his legs and back can handle it.
I don't know. I don't know. It would be cool if he played. He was talking about it recently, and I mean, he seemed like he was. I mean, obviously it's Tiger, so he's going to be a little bit mysterious with some of this stuff, but he obviously wants to be there. We'll see. But I was surprised to see him going at it like that. So.
Can you imagine when if he announces he's playing? I mean, everybody's gonna freak out.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to put that down because that sounds disgusting. No one needs to hear me eat. I think it's just, it's a different dynamic when he's there, obviously. Yeah, I don't expect him to compete, obviously, at all if he's there, but just watching him play. I mean, he hasn't, again, I had a stat book of things I wanted to go through this evening, and that was on there, was how many Masters cuts he's made in a row. And this is after he didn't play. I mean, I don't even know what surgery it was last, but he won the 2019 one. 2020 he didn't play because he was hurt again. And then I think I'm trying to remember. So, I mean, every one he's played in, I think it was like 19 years in a row or something. And the last time he missed was something personal was going on. So, yeah, it's pretty.
Not surprised at all.
No.
If he plays, he makes the cut.
If he plays, makes the cut.
Typically.
Yeah. I mean, that's what history has told us. So we'll see. I'm excited no matter what. I love the Masters. Super cool event. And yeah, I can't believe that's 2 weeks away. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, we'll have that. We'll have the recap on that one once we have our next podcast. So yeah. All right, Matt, you played some golf recently.
I did. I went out and played a little golf with my dad this last weekend. My dad lives in Palm Springs, California.
It's a temperate climate there.
It is in the desert. And yeah, he had me out. The club he belongs to had their member guest tournament. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it was about 100, between 100 and 105 degrees every day there when I was there. Mm-mm. Really rare for March in that area. It's not rare in July, but in March it is. And as a result, yeah, we didn't quite finish.
Yeah, I don't think I would have finished, to be honest with you, bud.
I mean, I played the whole. It was 27 holes the first day.
Yeah.
And then 18 the second day.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And, just different. It was actually really fun. I mean, it's unfortunate we couldn't finish everything, but it was really kind of a fun setup because there's 3 9-hole courses at where he lives.
Okay.
And on each one of the 9 holes, they had a different kind of format for the member guest. And the first one that we played was the aggregate.
Okay.
Which is basically you just play your ball and everybody plays their ball and you add it together at the end.
And then handicaps roll into that too.
Handicaps in play, right? But it's all
gotcha.
All aggregate. So
yeah.
But you don't help anybody other than just gotta play well.
You're not buying strings to make gimmies and stuff. Yeah.
And unfortunately, that was how we started.
So
our first.
Okay.
The course that the 9 we played was the aggregate side first. And I had never played that particular 9 before. I played the other 2 9s a bunch of times.
Gotcha.
So we did not do very well, neither of us, on that one. And then the second 9 was set up to be a Pinehurst.
Okay.
Which is you both hit your drive, and then you swap drives, and you hit the other person's drive.
Oh, yes.
And you decide whose next ball you decide
you play
with.
Okay.
Alternate shot.
From there. Wow. So I think I'd lose track of what was happening on each hole.
Yeah. And then the third was a scramble.
Okay.
So, and then the 18 holes on the second day was best ball.
Gotcha. Okay. So best ball is just playing your own ball and then take the best score in each hole. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, it was set up to be really fun.
Yeah.
It turned out to not work out as well as I
thought. It was a dry heat, though. I mean, it's not, if it's 105, but it's not humid.
I mean, the shirt I was wearing was salty at the end. I mean, it was so sweaty. And, it was fun. I mean, honestly, my dad felt really bad that he, didn't, it was just too much. And it was just a lot.
That's too much for most people, man. That's ugh.
It was just really great to be out with him.
Yeah.
Just to, hang out and play because, that's what we do.
When's the last time you played with him before that?
So probably over the summer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Over the summer.
Last summer. Okay. So it's been a while.
Yeah. Otherwise, it was good. I mean, as far as it was pretty typical Matt round of golf.
Yeah.
Had put together some good strings and then put together some double bogeys.
To be expected. I mean, you don't play a ton to expect much, but yeah, you'll string some holes together, and then your brain. You could string 9 holes together, and your brain's like, "Whoa, what are we doing here?"
Typically, what can happen.
Yeah.
Pretty good for 9, and then.
You get uncomfortable.
Or I get tired.
Well, there's that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. That would have melted me. I don't think I would have. I think I've been the first one to tap out. That's terrible. I don't do well in heat like that. I just, ugh.
It's pretty bad.
Ball goes farther.
Does. Yeah.
If you can actually swing.
The sweat gets out of your eyes.
Yeah, if you can just keep it out long enough to make contact. Yuck. Well, I'm glad you got to go.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I did. It was fun to hang out with my dad and just, it's unfortunate we couldn't make a better showing, but
Yeah.
I got a shirt out of it, you know.
Hey,
So,
you got something. Yeah. That's worth it. It's worth the plane ride.
Raffles and they had a quantum driver they were raffling.
Oh, nice. Of course you didn't win that. No, I don't think anybody did they? Someone did?
Somebody that bought a lot of raffle tickets and had their name in.
Yeah. If you throw $1,000 at it, you paid too much to the driver.
Yeah. So
Cool. Well, I'm glad you got to play. I have not played yet. I have not played since, I'm trying to think. It's been a long time. I was out I had a weird summer last summer, but I got some fall ball early October, I think.
you played it quite a few times at the end of the.
I got some fall golf in for sure. Yeah, which was nice. And then, I have this other thing I'm doing on this channel is I've got this like I'm doing a par 3 challenge, but it gets combined with like breaking par. It's like a breaking par series, but I'm trying to break par on a par 3 first, trying to work towards, being able to get comfortable with those scores, but just really working on short game. I'm really not good from 125 in. Although on this, like the last couple times I've come in here, my dispersion's been really good. And like when we were kind of farting around before we got on, hitting balls, those were not great swings, but the dispersion's a lot better. So my really bad swings, even with driver, are getting better. Yeah. So I think transitioning, like playing holes here and then going out to the course, I think mentally is going to help a little bit too. I noticed just, I was out practicing a couple times this weekend and then early in the week. Wednesday I came here. So, I'm seeing, like, I'm feeling what I'm working on is finally muscle memory, which is important for a lot of reasons. One being, just pain going away, being in a proper position of impact versus just where I was is going to help my knee regardless. But what I'm doing is a little more, as we call him, Fat Matt Fitzpatrick, kind of move through the ball where he kind of almost steps out left. I'm kind of trying to do that, but anyway, so yeah, I haven't been out yet. I would love to get out. I mean, you might as well take advantage of the weird weather.
Right.
So, before they start shutting courses down because they can't water. Debbie Downer. So we'll see, but yeah, I'm getting some stuff in here. I played Paynes Valley, played 4 holes at Paynes Valley in here, which I would love to go play that course with you at some point sooner than later. But interesting stuff. Yeah. So we're getting there. Yeah, I got to figure out when I'm going to get out to the course. I don't know.
Once like the Masters hits and you see the flowers on some of the trees and stuff, it's like courses are about to. I mean, they're all open right now. I know, but
right,
officially open.
Isn't it April 1 here for handicaps? Okay. Yep. So get out, start posting scores. Yeah, the earlier the better for me. I gotta post a lot of scores and see where I'm at. Yeah. I'm gonna try and get out to see our friend Joe in May. I was texting with him the other day, and I was in here working on some stuff before I ended up playing a few holes, and I'm really trying to watch these numbers and understand how all these things go together. Joe's a PGA pro. And he's on the simulator all the time because he does club fitting and stuff, so he's constantly working with these. And so I asked him about some of these numbers and what was going on, because what was weird for me was I was on the range here and working through my bag, wedges. I worked up to like an 8 iron, and then I went to a 6 iron. I was keeping an eye on a couple of things I wanted to watch. One is angle, path faced a path for me because I've been really closing the face at impact, and it's been showing up as a pull when I hit it. But I'm trying to figure out if that's because I've got this, like, I flipped the club. And part of the reason is because of the stuff with the lower body, but I'm working away from that, so I'm not flipping. It's getting there, but I want to know why the club gets closed. Part of it's getting steep. So I'm watching that. It's getting better. So basically at impact, instead of like being at like 2.5 or 3, I'm down to like a 0.5 at impact, which means I'm very square. I'm not too far from the inside, and the stuff I'm working on, my face is not closing as much. So I was getting pretty good numbers. I also watch ball speed, and then my carry distance. Obviously, everyone wants another carry distance with their clubs because that's you got to have that in order to play good golf. So I'm watching that, and I'm doing it all at sea level because I know my numbers here as far as like carries and stuff. But I do change back and forth when I'm on the simulator. But I kept everything at sea level. And I went through my bag. I got up to the 6-iron. Everything seemed like it's been, and I can keep track of that stuff. Get up to 5 wood, and everything seems okay. I get to driver, and it was bizarre. So I'm asking Joe, how is it that I like my ball speed with an 8-iron is 123 miles an hour? I think it's about what it was, because my carry was like 165 with an 8 at sea level. 6-iron was 198 to 200, 196 to 200. Ball speed was 138, I think. Everything's checking out. 5 wood, I was just over 140. Now, again, these numbers are not phenomenal. I know if people are listening or watching, it's like, oh, let's continue. I'm not talking about this is phenomenal. I'm just saying the consistency of where I'm at. But what's weird was I went from like a low 140s ball speed with my 5 wood to a like low to mid 150s with my driver. There was no change, like there was hardly any change. And I don't know, I was like, is the software kind of screwed? Like, is something not working correctly? Because my carry distance with my driver was like 260. It's a lot lower. It was really weird. Or mid 250s. I've been averaging low to mid 160s ball speed with the driver. So there's the difference. It's like 10 to 15 miles an hour slower. Is there something I'm doing with my driver? So I'm going through all this stuff with Joe. Basically, I think I was overwhelming him with texts. He basically goes, I don't know, brother, come out and see me. Yeah. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to go out. I'm going to have him look at some stuff. I'm going to get on his simulator, and we'll work through things. I mean, I feel like something weird's going to happen where I get out there and it's just like going to the mechanic. Like, I hear a knocking noise at the car. You got to check this out. You take it in the mechanic. They're like, I hear nothing. You're like, how is this possible? And you drive it home, you hear nothing. The next day it starts again. I hope that is not the case. I want to go out and like him be like, oh, this is what's going on. I have some theories. Some of these theories don't always make a difference because one of my theories was I feel like I probably am hitting down too much on my driver still. I'm not hitting like on an upswing, kind of the uppercut punch, whereas that's where that club needs to be for most golfers. There are guys in the PGA Tour, as I've discovered, like looking at all these numbers, that actually hit slightly down on their driver, one of which is Brooks Koepka, and he bombs it. And I've watched kind of some videos of his swing. I don't think I can get away with hitting down the driver and get, whatever. So that could be one of my theories. Anyway, that's what I've learned from this more than anything. Again, Swing 365 Colorado. Come check it out. You can get the same information because you can be, so one of the things that, with some of these clubs, like my driver's fairly forgiving. I think most people's drivers are fairly forgiving. So I can feel if I'm hit on the toe most of the time, but not always. I also feel like sometimes I'm like, oh, I think I caught that on the toe, and I look at the replay and it's closer to the middle of the face than I thought it was. So some of those factors, I'm like, well, maybe that's part of the problem with the ball speed dropping, and that's what I'm doing something weird with it. That wasn't always the case with it. But then I start like going after it, and there wasn't much change. So I know there's something going on with that driver swing, which was weird. Or maybe I got to that point and my swing started getting awkward again. But here's the caveat, and I'm not saying this stuff doesn't work. I changed. I'm like, I'm going to go to the elevation we play at. So I put on the practice range, 5340, put it back in. That's the elevation we play at here. And my driver carry distance was exactly the same as it was at sea level. and the same ball speed. So in theory, in real life, you can have the same ball speed and you take that to elevation, everyone gains distance. How much depends on a lot of factors, not just ball speed. But anyway, that was so confusing to me. So I don't know what was going on. It could have been a combination of a lot of things. I don't know. If it was with all clubs, I would have been like, all right, something's wrong with the software. Maybe there's a bug. Maybe it needs to be updated. I don't know how all that stuff works. But it was only with driver. It was very strange. So
I hope you figure it out.
Me too, because that's annoying.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not going to be at 180 ball speed ever in my life. I mean, I could probably work towards it, but I'm too old to like do that and put that much pressure on my body to want to get that, nor do I need to.
And I think at the end of the day, that's the truth.
Yeah.
What do you need
Right.
to enjoy this game?
Right.
To achieve your goals.
Yeah. That's
you can't compare yourself to.
No, I guess I'm not trying to say where I should be in the low 170s. I used to be there, but I don't know. There's a lot of things going on right now that I'm changing. I mean, I could probably get back there. That's fine. But any further than that, no, I'm not even interested in trying. I mean, I'm not going to do like speed training for those kinds of reasons. I'll do it to keep flexibility and strength and stuff, but not to do that. I don't need to do that. But when I'm usually hitting low to mid 160s ball speed, and again, I know that's not impressive, but it's on the bottom end of the PGA Tour. I don't care. What I'm saying is something's changed, and I need to know what it is. So I'm going to start getting lessons here with a coach, but I'm also going to go out and see Joe. Maybe in May, we'll see, and try and get out there. But sooner the better, because I'm going to get on this soon before the season gets going. But
yeah, and then you can use these numbers in a way that actually supports what you need, and not just for I don't know, numbers.
Right, exactly. Because you can stand here and hit stuff, and you look at all these numbers behind us, and what does any of that mean if you're not paying attention to it? So if you don't know what they're, and some of them are not going to be that pertinent to most people.
Most people are not really that helpful.
But if you're trying to get better and you want to see consistency, obviously strike. You want to feel the strike, and then what happens after the strike, and then why is it doing that if I feel like I strike it well and it doesn't. That's what this is good for. I will say the dispersion on this with the driver was really good. So face and face to path are way better than they were with that driver, because that driver, I had a two-way miss going for a long time, and it was not when you have a two-way miss going off the tee, it's not fun to play. I mean, it's just, you're just like, where am I going to be?
Yeah, exactly. You can't set it up. You have no idea.
No, you're just like, well, I want to stay away from the trouble here. Yeah, but if I do that, if I'm trying to play that fade, I could literally hit it out of bounds. And you've watched me hit some really awesome hooks into people's backyards where it's on a line and it's gone. Yeah. And that's not fun. So that part's getting better for sure. But yeah, anyway, that's my story.
Cool, man. Well,
yeah.
I'm glad you're working on it. I know it's going to get better. The more you practice,
the more I am here and more I'm on the course. Yeah. And
you're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I'm enjoying watching things change, and it's cool.
You like all those numbers and all
most of them make sense to me. So it's like, okay, that I can see, and I can go out on the course and like I can feel something and say, oh, I know what happened. And not that I'm trying to fix something on the course, but I can understand what I'm playing with that day at least. Like, okay, now I know that's what's happening. Live with it. Go to the range afterwards, and you can dial it in again. But yeah, so it's definitely helped. We're getting there. Yeah, just chip away at it. Just chip away.
Absolutely.
All right, speaking of chipping away, PGA Tour. Did you see the announcement they just came out with? Mr. Batia.
Oh, yes.
After the Arnold Palmer.
I did not hear their announcement. I knew the whole controversy was going on with him and the broomstick.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We'll talk about the whole broomstick putters and all the other stuff that come along with putters. But I didn't have a chance to read through it, and I was getting some kind of conflicting information. I didn't have much chance to kind of look at it before we got here. So I'm not sure if the PGA Tour came out with an official sanction or not yet. It sounded like from the thing that I read they did, but then people were like, well, it's not official yet. I'm like, okay, but seemed like this came from the PGA Tour, so I'm a little confused. So as of this broadcast of the podcast, I don't know if they took that away from him or not. But there was a lot of talk coming into that event with him and a couple other guys that looks like they're anchoring, but they're not anchoring. Are they anchoring that broomstick or not? People were really getting down on Akshay about it. He's definitely anchoring it. I don't know. My whole thing is, this is the only club in the bag that has a multitude of variations with it. Like, you don't have different kinds of drivers. Well, based on the way I have to hit my driver, I need to have it at whatever. Every club has a maximum length.
That's a good point.
Or like with Bryson, every club is the same length. It's just the way he's dialed in, the way he plays golf. But with the putter, I mean, I'll tell you my opinion, and you can go off on yours. But with the putter, especially at that level, I mean, I like Akshay a lot. Learn how to putt, dude.
Yeah.
If you need that type of putter because nothing else works, then you need to go work on, why am I not a good enough putter? What's going on? Is it mental? Is it my technique? Is it both? Get rid of the broomstick. That's my opinion.
Yeah. It is. That's a really good point, though, that's the only club in the bag that can even be an option to have a different length and all that. And I hadn't really thought of it that way. That's a good point. And I think it's something that should be. Yeah, I don't think it makes more sense to me that everything would be on equal footing, like across the board for everybody. Mm-hmm. Everyone has to learn to play on that level,
right?
And
I've never understood that. And even the time when they were allowed to like anchor it for a little bit, and people talk about how it resurrected Adam Scott's career because he couldn't win because he was not a very good putter at all, and he went to that and and then they took away the anchoring rule, and they thought his career was going to be over.
He figured it out.
Yeah. Just learn how to putt.
Did you hear Cam Young's putting story?
Mm-mm.
So he was a horrible putter. Nobody knows that right now because he's not.
Because he's amazing. Yeah, he's rolling the ball right now.
But he was horrible for a long time. And he said after he won the Players, he said he did two things to get his putting back. He stopped moving his head.
Okay, keep going. I'm gonna check something. Keep going.
And he got his friend from his golf team in college, who he said was the best reader of greens that he had ever met, to become his caddy. So he basically hired someone to read his putts for him.
Okay.
And then stop moving his head and everything.
Interesting.
Else, I think he had probably decent mechanics to start with.
Yeah.
But as soon as he kind of got that stuff settled out, the right line and stop some of the bad habits, now he's a lights out putter.
I think that's with most of these guys. Like, I don't think they've worked through enough of the issues. Putting is so much different than the rest of the game. It really is. The body's very locked up, where I think a lot of these guys get so technical with putting that they get so rigid and so locked up that nothing is moving freely. I mean, there's technique and talk about how you need to close the gate with the putter, and there's a lot of things going. There's all kinds of training aids out there with it too. But if you look at like the real old guys like Nicholas and Player and Watson, and they're all putting with literal blades, right? I mean, way back in the day, like there was none of this like mallet stuff. I mean, I think putting has gotten a lot easier with technology. I mean, the mallet putter that I have, I can swing it like a jackass and still roll it pretty decently.
That's true.
Reading greens is a whole different story. And I think that comes into play with a lot of the guys on tour too, is I just don't think some of them are good at reading greens at all. And some of them do talk about how they're not good green readers, and they have caddies that are great. So that helps, but it's so much, golf's mental anyway, but you get on the green, you've done all this phenomenal work, right?
Then it can all just go away.
It can go.
Yeah, it can just go away at any moment. All that work you did to get to the green.
It's very unfortunate. It's like who was I telling this the other day? It's like a good tile job with a bad grout job. It's a bad tile job, right? You can have the best tile setter in the world come in and do a immaculate job, and then they bring in some apprentice to grout, and it could turn out looking like butt. And it's the same thing with putting. It's on a par 5, you could hit just rip a drive and flight a 5-iron in there, and you're 10 feet from the stick, and it's just, my God, look at these shots, all this hard work, and then you could 4-putt. You could definitely 3-putt. I've done it. I've done it a lot, and it's just like you want to throw something because it's 10 feet left out of 550 yards, and 10 feet you barf all over the place, and it's just like it's maddening.
So you can understand why these guys reach for anything that
absolutely.
easier for them.
Yep.
I get that.
Yeah.
But to your point, at that level, you've made it to that level.
Learn how to putt.
That should be something you do just as well as anything.
You figured out all the other clubs. We just take away the broom, just get rid of it. Just stop making it, stop letting people use it. Amateurs too, just get away from it and just going back to the old guys, just find a way to stand over the ball and consistently roll a ball. And that's part of it, is really just practicing and getting consistent stroke where the ball is running down the line the same every single time, no matter what kind of putt. Because every putt is straight, if you think about it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You're playing break, but you're putting straight to a mark that you think it's going to move from, right? So every putt becomes a straight putt.
You have to get it on the line.
Exactly.
To start on.
Yeah.
To hit.
Yeah.
Hit it on.
Yeah. And I know everyone's looking for an advantage, especially at that level. The elites are looking for every advantage, and they do. They find every advantage they can get with every single thing they do with their clubs. But I just think there's just too much around that. You've never been allowed to anchor a golf club for anything, and then they allowed it with just the putter, and then they got rid of it, realizing, oh, this is actually it's hypocritical.
How successful were all the people who were doing the big anchor putters? I remember there were people who did it. I just don't remember if they were like that much better than everybody else.
Yeah, I think the way I saw that was like guys like Adam Scott, who just could not do anything in a tournament because, and again, it's not like he was 4-putting every green. You're 2 or 3 shots every round, you miss a cut.
So it's just really helping certain guys.
It just brought the guys that were just not going to do much into play. And all of a sudden now, because they had great golf swings, they were great golfers otherwise, now they're scoring because they're making 2 or 3 more putts around.
It's easier for them to do it that
because it's easier. Well, or at least up here. And yeah, it feels like if you can anchor your whole body and just be a robot.
like more of a pendulum.
It has, yeah, but my whole theory behind that, and I'm not saying I'm a great putter, but it's a pendulum stroke for sure. It's the shortest stroke we're going to have on the course. If you stand at a certain, whatever your body wants you to do with whatever putter length you need without the broomstick, then you should be able to get a good pendulum stroke. You got to experiment with it and figure it out. You may have to stand almost sideways. I don't know. Look at how Nicholas stood over putts. His whole body was pointed way left, but it was so he could look at the line better because he was right-eye dominant, and it allowed his hands to free up, right? Remember Aoki way back in the day? I mean, every club was kind of funky, but he put that putter, his toe was almost up in the air and he's hitting off the heel. And he just figured out that was his way to like get that ball to consistently roll. But just learn how to putt, man. And I don't mean like you suck at putting, learn your way with a conventional putter. At this point in the game, there should be no reason they can't find a putter that's a conventional length.
Yeah, with all those resources those guys have and the people that work for them,
Yeah.
clubs and stuff, they should be able to find a comfortable fit.
Yeah.
Then make their own. Yeah, I agree.
It's causing too many problems. They're getting as close as they can. How do you determine it? Like it's bad. It's a bad look. I'll be honest. I could never figure out how to use those things. It felt so bad to me. Like there's no way. I'll just.
I think I tried it like twice.
I cannot use those things. But I think you just got to get rid of them and just literally find a way to putt. I mean, Freddie Couples resurrected his putting because he wasn't very good for a while until he went cross-handed, right?
That's right. Find your way.
You just fiddle with it, claw grips, and you just find things that let you move that putter consistently through the ball and rolls. And then it just comes down to you got to figure out how far that ball's going to go. I don't know.
I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
I mean, all that
work
and everybody just totally dumping on him.
Yeah.
Or saying he was anchoring.
He's
anchoring. I don't think so personally, but I've no.
There's no. Yeah. Exactly.
Because I kind of trust him.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he would cheat.
I mean, these guys, same thing with like Rory with the driver last year, right? And I was asking Joe, like, what does that mean that it's been taken out of use and it's illegal now, and what happens to the driver? So he explained all that stuff. They're going to find every advantage they can get, right? The rules allow it. I'm going to do it. So he's going to get that putter as close to his body because that's comfortable. That's how it's designed to be used. You're not going to hold it way out here anyway. It's going to be close to your body. How do you regulate that? I just don't think you can. So just get rid of it.
Yeah, it seems to have created a pretty big headache. So
yeah,
makes sense to get rid of it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's my 2 cents on that. I was just like, that sucks because I like Akshay a lot. I think he's a phenomenal talent. He's a cool dude. But go get a mallet putter, brother, and try. Just figure out. Just find your stroke. You found your swing. Find your stroke. So anyway, and if I ever see you on the green, if I ever see you pull that out of your bag, I will snap it in half, and you will not have a putter for that round. You know how that's going to show up.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Or you're going to have to play without pants. You make your choice.
I don't think you have anything to worry about.
I didn't think so.
Never entered my mind.
I've also told my brother and my father that don't show up with a broomstick.
I could see Trent showing up with it.
It's bad enough he plays barefoot. Yeah, they'll snap that putter and you'll be playing with no pants. So, yeah, food for thought.
Yeah, thanks for the warning.
Well,
yeah.
That's what I had, man. I want to talk about some scratch stats, but I left them. And there were just things that, but I'm gonna link this. I'm gonna link this in the show notes and in the description below for YouTube stuff too. There's a video I watched recently for stats about how to be, things to do to become a scratch golfer. It's not just about ball speed and and everybody swings their swing, but to a certain extent. But there was a guy there's a few guys I've found out there that are like, I went from a 6 handicap to a +2 or whatever in a year or 2 years. Sometimes these guys have a lot of time. Sometimes they have a lot of facilities available. But I watched this guy. He did a really good job. I cannot dial in who he reminded me of, but he reminds me of someone I know. And I'm going to send the video to you, and I'll link it in this stuff too. But he had this list of different things to do. For consistency and what's entailed to become a scratch golfer. And these are just stats that if you don't do them, you will not be there. Sure. Some of which we kind of understand, like you can't bunt the ball around a course and shoot even par, right? So you have to have a swing speed and a ball speed that compresses the ball to hit it far enough. And they said they've noticed with stats they've taken from whatever groups they use for these things, and this is the Handicap Association and the USGA, and they've linked these different things together. One of which I remember is if you cannot average, like your driver distance is not at least 265 yards, you're not going to get there. Because most courses, you're going to be too far out to be able to hit consistent shots into pins and be able to make putts. So you have to get to a point where you're hitting your driver at least 265 yards. And people are like, that's not anything. I hit it. Blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, but we're also assuming that you're going to be hitting, and I believe the stat was 10 fairways around. I think that's right. And here's the one that I thought was interesting is guess how many greens in regulation per round a scratch golfer averages. I'm going to have to check myself on this later, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on this.
I'm not going to guess right. I have no idea.
I'm going to give you an over-under of 10.
I'm going to say under.
Under. It's 8. Yep, it's like 8.5 or something, yeah. So they're not hitting every green in regulation, nor do the pros. But what does that tell you? You're hitting, I think they were at 58% or 60% of the fairways, and they're hitting 8 out of 18 greens in regulation on average, 8.5. What does that tell you? Yeah. Again, we're going back to putting and chipping, and that's what it's at. Now, you have to be able to consistently compress the ball and do other things too. And again, I'm going to check, I know I'm going to go check the stats. I may update it in the notes, but it's not what you think it is. They're not hitting 15 greens around.
But those greens,
they're not hitting at 320 yards.
Those greens they are hitting, they're scoring on.
Scoring, yeah. So here's the other one that I'll tell you. So scoring is an interesting one too, because you assume scoring would be running a lot of birdies in. How many birdies per round does a scratch golfer average?
Maybe 1 or 2.
1.3 per round.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So they're consistent, right? Their short game is pretty darn good because they got to do it. There's not many 3 putts, hardly at all. I think they were only averaging 1.5 3 putts around, or two 3 putts around, and the big number stays out of the bag, stays off the court, right? It's not on their card, so they're staying away from the doubles and the triples. Yes. They'll take the bogey when they have to take the bogey. Eventually, they know they're going to show up with a birdie or two, right? And that's what it is. It literally is like, the whole thing with the 18 force thing with me. That's really what, if you look at that on a sheet of paper, 18 times 4 is 72. Most courses are 72 par. That would be even par. Well, not like my dad was like, well, some of those, if you're 18 fours, that means you're taking some bogeys. Yeah. I'm getting a couple birdies in there too. And a lot of pars. And that's literally what those stats show. So taking all that into account, and it's starting to show up on this stuff too, which is cool when I play these holes.
Right. Yeah.
If I do take a bogey, then I will I'll be consistent and run some pars in, and then I'll sneak in a birdie here or there when needed. It's the blow-up holes. So it's that two-way miss, all that stuff.
Shit hitting the water.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Playing away from trouble. And like we talked about a while back, learning you just take your rangefinder and you shoot that pin. All right, I have 168. All right, what's my 168 club? Timeout. Where are you hitting the ball? At the pin. Do you know there's a shelf back there, and if you fly it 2 yards too far, it'll go off the back? You do not want to be beyond that pin. So, no, do not hit your 168 club down. Or the other way around, like I was playing out a bear dance and learned the hard way, because I was shooting a lot of pins, because I was hitting a lot of wedges into these greens on a lot of the par 4s, and that's what got me from making a lot of easy pars to farting around and I had a couple doubles, but also a lot of bogeys, because I was hitting the front of the green right at the pin, and I was ripping it off the front of the green, and they're false fronts. So they roll off 30 or 40 yards. Now I had this really, really hard chip shot from 40 yards away when I stuck a wedge 10 feet, and it rips off the green. Wrong club. Don't hit that pin. And yeah, it's easier when you're starting to play a course a lot. You know where to do that. When you're playing a course you don't know, you need someone to tell you those things. But that's how you remove the big number.
That's how you're getting down to that scratch
Mm-hmm.
that you're shooting for.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So that is my goal this year, is to be better at more middle of the greens, playing away from trouble, obviously playing your misses, but your goal is going to be to keep me accountable when I do that and I shoot it and you're like, what do you got? I got 172. Are you hitting at the pin?
That's what the pin is.
That's where the pin is.
Where are you going? Yeah.
You don't want to be there.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great lesson for everybody. And it's a hard one. And I think when you're more of a recreational average golfer with these things, it's
Sure.
not that.
Sure. You're hitting to the middle of the green. Just get anywhere close.
Just try
Yeah.
to get it up there.
Yep.
And, be close.
Yep.
Yeah, if your goal is like Shane, here just to get down to scratch, yeah, you really do need to know those details.
Yeah.
That matter. And your dispersion and where to miss, right? Like,
Right.
You listen to those guys talk on the tour, and they're like, oh yeah, they're going to shoot for that bunker.
Yep.
They're going to miss. They know they're not going to be able to get to the green, so they want to go here.
Right.
Why? Because then they can.
Because their short game will get them to the place where they can easily make a par. Yeah. Yeah. And yes, those guys have their numbers dialed. So when they're shooting that number, there are a lot of times where they're actually going to shoot a pin. But there are a lot of times where they're not even thinking about the pin. And if it moves, if you watch some of those, some of the events, and they're like, wow, he's all over that.
That was Cam Young on 17.
Did not intend to hit it there.
He hit that fat. And it was a great shot.
Yep. That's because you're playing for, you're not going to hit every shot exactly that perfect. And again, going back to, I'm not going to one hand as many swings. I'm not going to put my hand. Dude, you missed it in a perfect spot. Yeah. You gave yourself the chance to two putt for par. That is the goal.
Or if that you didn't short side yourself, right?
Right.
These different places around the green make sense to play from versus other ones.
Yeah, that miss is fine. You have 60 yards of to work with and an easy pitch shot. You're not you can let that thing run all the way to the pin versus trying to throw it straight up in the air and drop it right next to the pin or it's gone.
Over a bunker down
Yeah.
the hill.
Yeah.
Running towards the water.
Yeah. Let's do less of I want to have less of this season. I want to have less of me walking up and going, boy, you just don't want to miss it here. You had the opportunity back there to decide.
With all that other stuff over there to hit to?
Yeah, why would you have not aimed 40 yards right? And if you don't move it, look at that shot. Totally. So that's the biggest thing I'm trying to work on right now, along with the full swing. So
yeah, that's great, and I think everybody should engage those.
Yeah.
And knowing your course is helpful.
It absolutely is, but
that's always
when you don't know.
Sometimes you play better. You hit it for the middle of the green.
I'm like, I don't know what the screen does. Just aim in the middle. What's the middle of the green distance?
I remember playing one year. It was when I worked at Lakewood Country Club. That couple of those summers, we could play the course.
Oh yeah.
They would let you play on a Monday afternoon or something, and they were doing all the maintenance. They were doing all. It was closed for certain things, and so they didn't have any pins in.
Yeah.
They had holes cut.
Yep.
But they didn't have any pins.
But you have no idea where the hole is. Yeah. Yep.
So you're just.
Aim at the middle.
In the middle. I think my dad came and played 9 with us one time when we did that. I think he shot one over.
Yeah.
Or something like
exactly.
That. It's because
occasionally you're going to be close, and most time you're. Yeah.
I don't remember how I did, but I just remember that it was actually a really cool, kind of a cool experience.
Yeah.
If you didn't know where the pin was, what would you do?
It would be a good experiment to do sometime this season where you just, I don't know how we have to find a course where we can use like yardages that shoot the middle of every green from the sprinkler head and don't even use a rangefinder. And just find the sprinkler head, walk it off like the old days, and then say, it doesn't matter because that's the middle of the green. Don't worry where the pin is. That's your distance every single shot to the green. And just, I know there's courses out there that have that stuff, so we'll just play some of those. Or they play to the front, and then just, okay, add 5 yards, right, to every shot, right? And then that's how you play. See what happens. Yeah. I'd be very curious to see what I end up shooting doing that versus overthinking, like, all right, well, I don't want to be long on this because that comes into play too. I'm like, whoa, if it's that difficult, just hit it over there. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot because especially from like 125 in where I'm trying to like dial it, you don't need to do that. Take your 20, if you're 20 feet from the pin, you have an easy 2-putt in theory. You should give yourself a lot of chances to 2-putt from 20 feet. At 30 feet, same thing. And the rest of them, you just, do your best. But that's where I'm going to try and get and just see how many of those scores I can put up that way and see where I line up. But yeah, I'm curious.
I'm sure.
Because like I do on this thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you know where the flag is half the time.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's like, well, I can see everything because you can look at the little sidebar and see where traps and stuff are. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be there for sure. And I know it tells you the distance of the pin, but also gives you the distances of other parts of the green. I'm like, well, I'm just going to hit it over here and just try and make a putt. It's amazing. Oh, yeah. Huh. Interesting. Oh, yep, it is. Well, thank you, buddy, for coming back. This is fun. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. We'll get out soon. Yep. We'll get out and do it. Just a lot of bag carrying this year for sure. Let's just get out and play. I don't, and again, with that in mind, just write down your score, but let's just kind of keep it between the trees, keep it out of the traps and just see what happens. Yeah. Just go from there. Just post some scores and have some fun.
I love it.
Right on. Well, that's it for this episode of Road to Scratch podcast. Again, thank you to our sponsor, Swing 365, Colorado. Love this place. Love being here for the podcast. All the information in the description below and in the show notes. We'll be back next month for the Masters episode, which will be a recap based on when we're going to do the podcast. We'll recap what happened in the Masters, all the fun, who won, the whole 9 yards. Hopefully Tiger's in the field. We'll see. I'm excited. And that kicks off the golf season. First major of the year and everything else that comes along with it. So here we are. It's time to go. Good times. All right. That's it. See you on the next one.